Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So for those of you who are new, my name is Christiane, otherwise known here as IHeartAirbrush, and today I'm bringing you a little bit of a Q&A. So a follower of mine had asked me how I store my airbrush makeup, and I know that I've answered it in comments over the years, but I've never actually made a whole video dedicated to just that question. So I am going to go ahead and do that today. So if you're interested in knowing how I store my makeup, just a few tips and tricks and things that I do to increase the longevity of my makeup and keep everything nice and organized, then please keep on watching. Alright, so I'm giving you a Q&A video today on how I store my airbrush makeup. I know you guys are wanting, and I've had a lot of requests to review the Diner 1, and of course a few foundation review requests. I'm getting to all of that, okay? The foundation reviews are coming. The reason why they kind of came to a halt is because I had a lot of trouble with my skin. I was flaring up and I had a lot of acne that got really bad for a while. So I finally took care of all of that. Things have cleared up very nicely, as you can see. So the foundation reviews will start coming out once again. As for the Diner 1, I am going to review that system. I'll admit, honestly, I wasn't going to review that system, to tell you the truth. I wasn't even sure if I was going to pick it up because I have so many other systems and these systems are so expensive, and your girl has to buy them herself, okay? I don't get everything sent to me. Contrary to popular belief, I don't get everything sent to me. The airbrush influencer market is not, it's not there, honey, okay? So a lot of us have to invest our own money into these systems, these kits, and these products. So that being said, the price tag and everything, I just couldn't afford it at the time. But your girl saved a little bit, and it's honey's birthday next month. So, you know, we gonna get that system and just go ahead and review it for you because I've been hearing a lot of wonderful things about it, and honestly I'm very excited to go ahead and try it out and give you the whole spiel and all the tea on it and all that good stuff. So please be patient. It's coming, okay? I promise it's coming. But for now, I just want to go ahead and give you a quick video. I am working on a foundation review video that I've been working on for a really long time. I'll explain it in that video, but it's taking a little bit longer than normal, so I figured just to go ahead and give you guys this video for this week, and then next week we'll go into foundation reviews and of course, you know, hopefully the Diner 1 and all of that good stuff. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about how I store my airbrush makeup. So storing your airbrush makeup, you want to follow like two rules of thumb almost, and these are the two things that I've literally followed since the beginning of my airbrush journey, and that's one, to keep your makeup out of direct sunlight. You definitely don't want it to be in direct sunlight or a place that gets a lot of natural light. And then two, to go ahead and make sure that you're keeping it in a cool, dry place. You definitely don't want to keep it or store it in a place that's going to have temperatures that fluctuate. That's going to be like a lot of steam, or that's going to be like dry heat. Like you just don't want to expose it to rapid changes in temperature at all. So you want to keep it in a nice, cool, dry place. And then of course, keeping it in the dark or in indirect light would be my recommendation for how to store them. And those are like the two main things. As far as what devices or what things you can use to keep your makeup organized, I have gone through so many different things to keep my makeup collection organized, because from the get-go, I have been growing my collection since the beginning, since the start of it all. And if you have followed me for a really long time, you know, when I first started my Diner collection, I would buy like 10 to 15 shades at a time, okay? So my whole collection went from like 8 shades that you get in the kit to like this massive, like, oh my gosh, where am I going to put all this stuff? So I've tried a lot of different methods on how to store my airbrush makeup. I did have it in a kit at one point, and then I had it in a drawer just kind of loose at one point, and that proved to not be very functional for me. So I did invest in organizers. Now the Container Store has really, really nice organizers, and I will go ahead and put it on the screen, the ones that I do have. And these organizers are really, really nice because they keep everything separated and all that good stuff, so you don't have to worry. And you can also organize them by type, different lines, and all of that good stuff, or even by color, which I really like because, you know, I'm very I'm visual, okay? I like to have everything organized. Happy surroundings mean happy headspace, which means creativity flows for me. So I like to keep everything organized that way, and those container store organizers are a really good way to go ahead and do that. Now, they have the flat ones like the one I just showed you in the image here, and then they also have like the tiered ones, which are really nice if you have like a vanity or in your bathroom to use the tiered ones, because it kind of lifts everything up and you can get a good view of all of the bottles. For a while I was storing it in a drawer. I do recommend storing it in a drawer, especially if you don't have a lot of space. I have some images that I'll put up somewhere, or I'll insert, of how I would store it before. So the bottles were stored in the container store organizers, and then I labeled them with the shade names on top, and that helped me keep everything organized. And then when I created a film setup that was in a different space, I switched to these containers and then kind of relabeled them using a color coding system just so I can find the shades faster. I did end up moving the system back to the drawers, but kept the color coding. And I would store it in a drawer like that. It wasn't until I got really deep on YouTube and all of that that I needed it. I didn't find it beneficial to just have them stored in a drawer with the names on top, because a lot of my shades ended up not getting used that way. So I ended up investing in a acrylic nail polish display, and that has been working beautifully for me, and I'm able to see all of the colors and all of that good stuff. So I will go ahead and insert a picture of that for you guys to go ahead and see what my collection looks like on the wall. All right, so here is what my display looks like with the different various brands of airbrush makeup. As you can see, everything's beautifully organized. I love the idea of a display. As you can see, the two Dinair bottles can go too deep, and then the Temp 2 bottles can also go too deep. So if you're like a working makeup artist, you can have extras and all that stuff behind. But yeah, everything just fits so beautifully in here, and it just looks so good. I'm inspired. Definitely a really good investment for my studio. Now, what I like about this nail polish display that I'm using for my airbrush makeup, of course, what I like about it a lot is that all of the colors are displayed in their true entirety. So I can go ahead and see everything, and it's easier for me to get inspired that way. And it's also easier for me to go ahead and utilize a lot of the shades in my collection instead of being kind of like overwhelmed and only grabbing for the shades that I know, the shades that I use all the time, you know what I mean? So it kind of gets me out of my comfort zone, gets me inspired and all of that good stuff, having it all laid out in front of me. I will say though, when you're not storing it in a drawer and you are storing it in a nail polish rack or on the wall or something like that, the whole rule of thumb thing comes back into play, where if you do have it stored, as you can see, like where I have it stored is nowhere in front of the window. It does not get any direct sunlight or anything like that. The thing with airbrush makeup is that it's mixing medium and pigment. So it's not so much that the mixing medium is going to go bad on you, it's as much as it will evaporate on you. After a while, the mixing medium does start to kind of float away into the air and you're left with a lot more pigment than mixing medium. Then of course at that point you can't really use the makeup unless you add more mixing medium, which in some cases is not really a possibility. But yeah, so you just want to make sure that you're storing it out of direct sunlight. Indirect sunlight is okay, but I like to have it on the wall, like next to the wall, maybe like with a good this much space between the window and the display. That way, you know, temperature fluctuations when it's hot outside or when it's cold outside or any of that stuff just doesn't mess with my airbrush makeup. Now, airbrush makeup can last you a really, really long time if you are being careful. So make sure that you are closing the bottles when you're not using them and all of that to make sure that the mixing medium doesn't evaporate faster. You want to make sure that you are not storing it in areas that are not temperature controlled. You want to make sure like room temperature, maybe a little bit lower, would be an ideal situation. I know that's what I go by. Different brands will tell you different things, of course. If you want to know by brand, of course, it's always better to contact customer service because I don't work for any of these brands. These are just the things that, you know, work for me. And these are the things that I found to work for me. So I share them with you guys here. But, you know, you want to know from them, you might just go to them, you know. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. Like, storing it is not really that difficult as long as you follow those two rules of thumb and get creative with how you want to store it based on your specific needs, then you'll be all good. Like I said, I started with a drawer and then now I'm on to the display, which works a lot better for me now, being on YouTube and all that good stuff. But before YouTube and all of that, a drawer was perfectly fine, especially when I had limited space options. Drawers worked out for me with the dividers. I found it to be really easy to go ahead and store and keep everything good. All right, I can feel myself getting really tired and I gotta go. So I know this one is short and sweet, but I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Remember to go ahead and like this video as well. It helps me out a ton. Sharing helps me out a ton too. So if you do have the platform, please go ahead and share this video. And as always, make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you are subscribed, or if you choose to subscribe today, don't forget to hit that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you get the quickest updates anytime I upload a video. All right, loves, thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye.